opposite of love bombing.
Love detonating.
Love detonating. It's hate detonating. Coined it. You heard it here first. Don't love bomb, hate detonate. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
We are sometimes Ciabatta Slaps. I'm Mac.
I'm Jubes.
And today's topic, we are going to be touching on love bombing. I guess we should say happy love month, everyone.
Yes, it is February.
It's February.
We're focusing, like, a lot of our topics for this month are, like, focused around love.
Yeah.
But not in, like, the nauseating shove romance down your throat kind of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, we're talking about love bombing. That's not really, like, a happy thing.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I don't know. It's important to know.
Yeah. No, so we have love bombing this week. And then I guess next week is Valentine's Day when we release.
Yes.
And so we're going to put our book club episode on that day.
Yes.
And so that one's How to Love a Porcupine.
Yes, I'm excited.
And then we'll be doing love bombing or self-love and then the types of like dependence and stuff. And
like
those are for
codependence, independence,
interdependence.
Yeah. To kind of end the month off. I don't know which weeks those will come out, but that's what we have lined up, which is pretty exciting.
That's our plan. So
yeah,
get excited for that.
Yes. How are you doing, Mac?
I'm good. I was just trying to think of like if there's anything I have to really catch up on. I've just been hibernating.
Yeah.
I've been like in head down focus mode. Like if I'm not doing something for the podcast, then I'm working on school or I'm at work or I'm working out. Like it's just, it's been chaos. So my life hasn't really been anything noteworthy.
That's fair.
To talk about.
That's fair.
How about you?
I experienced serotonin for the first time in like so many months this week.
The energy difference. I'm like, yeah,
literally
I'm just, like, chill and focus, and you're like, serotonin.
Finally, I've been missing you. Literally, it was so nice. I was like, I'm just happy. And that's what it is. And I didn't have to work for it. And it just happened. And I was like, this is beautiful. So...
Do you think it has something to do with like the nice weather right now? Or
Yeah. I was like, it's kind of nice out. So yeah, I'm happy now, which is nice. But yeah,
seasonal depression.
Yeah, and that's on sad. No, it was really nice because I had a really bad migraine, and I was like, wow, I love this game, and I had to go to work. And then my migraine went away thanks to Advil. And then I was just like, oh my goodness, my head doesn't hurt anymore. I'm free. And it was just like the rest of the day just kept getting better and better and better and better and better. And I was like, this is amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then Bryce and I got home at the exact same time, which has never happened before and just made me so excited for some reason.
That's exciting.
I know, because I was like pulling into the garage and he was like pulling up right behind me. And I was like, oh, I thought that was you. And he's like, I thought that was you. And I was like, oh my God, we're adorable. Yeah,
so cheesy,
kind of dumb, but then yeah, it's been good. And then I spent all day today cleaning our old apartment, because by the time this episode comes out, we don't have it anymore, but it's kind of disgusting, so that was a lot of fun.
Your life is so much more interesting than mine.
It's one day.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know. Serotonin, what a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing.
We love hormones. We'll be talking more about hormones eventually.
Yeah.
I want to dive into a tad of neuroscience.
Well, and then I was like, oh my goodness, because the days that I experienced the serotonin, I was on the placebo pill for my birth control. So I was like, oh my goodness, maybe I just don't have uncontrollable hormones raging through my body but then I was like, this has literally never happened before. It's definitely just not my birth control. It's something else, but so that's my life.
Fun.
And with that out of the way, I would like to say there's some trigger warnings for domestic violence and the topics of abuse in this episode.
Yeah.
So, buckle up.
Yeah. Just love bombing as a whole. We're not
it's
directly telling stories about abuse, but it's just like what you might experience in some kind of abusive relationships.
If you've been love bombed or some of these descriptions like are triggering to you, don't feel free to skip it. We will not be offended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah.
We touch on love bombing a little bit in the relationships episode with Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to dive deeper into it because it's kind of interesting to be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're in the dating pool, because you might not even notice, like, if you are doing love bombing.
Yeah.
Right? It might be an innocent thing. If you have, if you have weird attachment issues.
Yeah. And so, like, I do talk about that, or have that in my notes, but it's like, you can do it innocently, you can not know that you're doing it, but that doesn't, it's the intention behind it is what makes it love bombing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I guess to dive into it, what is love bombing, Jubes?
It's basically when someone overwhelms you with loving words, actions, and behavior as a manipulation technique. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of a relationship, it can look like a really positive thing because, oh my goodness, you just started dating this amazing new person who showers you with gifts and attention and like everything you could ever need in the world.
Yeah.
But it can turn into like gaslighting and abuse, and it's often very manipulative. That's the whole basis behind it. And it's employed by a narcissist or a sociopath in an attempt to control you. Mm-hmm. So we love that. And there was actually a study done that found that there's a correlation between love bombing, narcissism, insecure attachment style, and low self-esteem. So that was fun. I was like, I got to include that.
I'm not a love bomber. I don't love bomb. I pull away. I don't overwhelm. I pull away.
What's the opposite of love bombing?
Love detonating.
Love detonating. It's hate detonating. I coined it. You heard it here first. Don't love bomb. Hate detonate. Oh my goodness. Chaos.
Oh, so good.
So yeah, like...
So I guess, what does it look like and feel like then?
So, it's very important to note that all of these things aren't necessarily bad, but it's the intention that behind them that makes the love bombing toxic. Like, people can shower you with gifts just out of love, but if they're doing it as a way to control you, that's when it turns into love bombing. They often do this to manipulate you into thinking that they love you so much that when they're abusive, you gaslight yourself into thinking that it wasn't them, because why would someone who says all these things and treat you this way abuse you?
Yeah.
Yes. And so they often give you inappropriate gifts as a part of just like an over-the-top gesture. So that would be like sending dozens of bouquets of flowers to where you work instead of just like buying you flowers. And often their goal with love bombing is to manipulate you into thinking that you owe them something. So all of these gifts often come with a price, whether you know it at the time.
Yeah.
And so
in many ways it'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this with you tonight. I want to see my friends. And it's like, oh, but I just bought you this like expensive necklace.
Exactly.
And you're like, I thought it was a gift, and now it's like has a price tag on it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's and so yeah, like they can't stop complimenting you, but if they're like professing their undying love for you in a short amount of time, it can kind of indicate that their feelings might not be genuine and they are love bombing you, because it's very rare for someone to be like, oh my goodness, I love you, we're soulmates, let's get married
within the first like week.
Yeah, like it's very, very fast. And the timeline with this also makes it different from just like a regular relationship where like with love bombing, it's often very intense, very fast, and like it just feels almost like out of control and very overwhelming. Whereas like in a real relationship, like yes, you can profess your undying love for them, but it usually takes you a couple months.
Yeah.
Or years or whatever to get to the point where they're like immediately there.
Yeah. And that can often sometimes, if you are dating a love bomber,
yeah,
it can feel like you can almost feel trapped in it sometimes. Like you feel like you've been sucked into this like vortex and you're like, I don't know how to get out of this now. And
yeah,
I think that's why a lot of people tend to stick in these relationships for so long. Yeah. Because like, well, they haven't done anything directly bad to me, or they haven't really directly done this or said this. And then it just takes one like really twisted situation before you're like, oh.
Exactly. Or they're like, oh, every time they do XYZ to me, they always buy me something after. So like, if they really didn't love me, they wouldn't buy me something, right? Like, yeah. Which, that's not the great mindset to be in.
Yeah.
They will often overwhelm you with phone calls and texts, like to the point where they're like texting you good morning every morning, and if you don't reply immediately, they lose their ever-loving mind. Mm-hmm. And like with that, they want your undivided attention and then get mad when you focus on other people. So like Michaela said, like if you want to hang out with someone else, they're going to lose their shit, because why would you want to hang out with someone else when you could hang out with your love bomber?
Mm-hmm. And side note, you can kind of see actions of this in if anyone's watched Emily in Paris, like the newest season, you can kind of see examples of this with what's her roommate? Anyways, the boyfriend.
Okay. Well, and Alexa said, because I was researching this with her, and she was like, the Black Panther movie actually has really good examples of love bombing in it, the latest one. So I want to watch that and kind of...
I'm trying to think of where.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess with the underwater guy, I wonder?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I'd like to.
Mindy.
Okay.
Nicholas is who she sees, and so you can kind of see it in a more subtle form on the show, whether they intended that to be the case or not.
Yeah.
But it basically, like, he was so infatuated with her, and then he would get mad when she would be with her friends, or if he didn't like her friends, then he actually made a point of like icing Emily out and making Emily feel awkward about talking to Mindy and stuff. So it's just something I noticed when I was watching this season. I was like, ooh, yeah, they really built that character development with that.
Well, and it leads into so many other forms of abuse where like they're isolating you from your friends and family so that when it gets really bad, you have no one to turn to, so you have to stay with them.
Yeah.
It's just like another tactic to isolate you pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so with this, like, they try to convince you that you're soulmates. They want commitment, and they want it, like, immediately. So often, they're going to, like, rush you into things and will mention marriage and moving in together so fast. And, like, they'll probably, like, propose really early, but, like, you're not actually engaged. They just want to, like, you're, like, secret engaged almost. Mm-hmm. Just as a form of control again.
This is the whole thing, like, yeah, the idea of like a promise ring.
Mm-hmm.
Not that everyone's promise ring is that. I just think it's a really weird thought. For me, a promise ring is an engagement ring.
Well, yeah, right? That's because I really wanted a promise ring because I just like jewelry, and I was like, Bryce, you need to buy me a ring. And he's like, Journey, no, I'm not going to get you a promise ring. Like,
yeah,
our relationship is the promise ring. Like, by dating you, I am like promising that like we're going to get married, or that I'm going to respect the basic like contract terms, or terms of our contract, basically. Like,
I would like to renew our contract every year.
Literally.
This lease between us, the grocery shopping.
That's what I'm going to do on our anniversary. I'm going to write up a contract, and I'm going to be like, sign here to renew your lease. And he's not going to sign it. I'll be like, no, fuck you.
He's going to burn it in front of you.
Literally.
That's funny.
He'll be like, break up with me. Light it on fire. Like, oh, no, I don't want to.
I got it notarized.
You're destroying legal tender. That's a felony.
You're going to jail.
Oh my goodness.
Don't do that.
That is not, that I'm not advising you guys to do that. But I just might. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so after they scare you with wanting marriage immediately, they will get upset when you place boundaries. And so when you try to tell them to slow down, they are going to continue to manipulate you into getting what you want. They're like, well, if you really loved me, you would be okay with this.
Yeah, that's a lot of like...
That's more gaslighting.
But it's...
they go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, but like, we're in love and I love you and I thought we were soulmates, and just saying all these things that you might have agreed to and you were like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely. Yeah, well, we can get married.
Yeah.
Not thinking it's immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're overly needy, so no matter how much time and attention you give them, it's never enough. And so there was 2 questions in the article that were like, are you bailing on friends because they can't stand to be alone? They being the love bomber. Or do you feel obligated to answer every text because they gifted you that expensive iPhone? Which Michaela kind of alluded to is like, oh, are we hanging out because you bought me a pretty necklace, or do I actually enjoy your presence? Yep. And so, yeah, you get overwhelmed by their intensity and you never know what to expect from one moment to the next and feel pressured into seeing them around the clock. And you feel very unbalanced, kind of just like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, which, yeah, plays into their intensity because you just don't know what to expect. Are you going to get the intense amounts of love, or are you going to get the not intense amounts of love? Like, what person are you going to come home to?
Yeah. So, and some questions you can ask yourself, like, to see if you are being the love bomber is, are your smothering actions due to clinging to the relationship? Are you compensating for poor treatment of your partner in the past? Do you fear your partner will break up with you? Do you fear abandonment? Do you want to be viewed as a hero? And it might be hard to kind of reflect on that because, like, as you said, most love bombers most love bombers are narcissists or sociopaths. So a lot of them do it with intention, and we're gonna really hammer that one in there.
Yes.
It is an intentional act.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be like you might be acting in a love bombing way without realizing it.
Exactly.
And that's where communication and self-awareness comes into play.
Yeah. And so, like, a lot of, like, the questions are, like, from the insecure attachment is just like, well, you might just love bomb to make yourself feel more secure in the relationship, but not knowing that it's not nice. Because
I see these, it's like insecure attachment style, giving gifts, and I'm like, ooh. But no, I don't think. Yeah, I'm definitely not a love bomber in the sense.
But you're not doing it with the intention to manipulate or control, right?
No,
like,
not
that's
at all.
where the whole, like, difference comes. You can do it with genuine love.
I bring gifts for people because I like giving gifts when I see something I think of or whatever, when I think of them. But yeah, it's just really funny to hear this, and I'm like, oh, it's me.
I'm so glad that we did this after the attachment styles.
I'm not. It's shook my entire existence.
I love it.
I need to not, like, put so much weight onto it, but yeah.
Oh, well. But yeah, so, like, what you kind of brought up is, like, can love bombing happen in friendships?
Yeah.
So, it definitely can. But it doesn't really look any different than love bombing in romantic relationships. So the person might suddenly act like your best friend, always want to do things with or for you. They always want to hang out. They're texting you constantly. They never act like anything is an inconvenience. They overshare personal information about themselves, and they will info dump / trauma dump in the hopes that it will fast track a close relationship with that person.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh my gosh, all I do at work is trauma bond with all of my coworkers. Are we love bombing?
Yeah.
But I don't think so, because then I read a completely different Reddit post that kind of described a little bit more what love bombing in friendships looks like. And I think many of us, before I jump in, like, I think you can think of friendships particularly in, like, junior high and high school, where you can pinpoint, like, oh, this person didn't want to be my friend, like, truly, like, I didn't actually get along with them. They're just like I can think of a person, like, 1 or 2 people. Yeah. When you say, like, love bombing in friendships, I'm like, that's what that was, and I can distinguish that is separate for what
we had like at work, because we got close within a few months, but we were spending every single day together for 9 hours.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's the thing, like, it was gradual over time. Yeah. It wasn't like one day you came to work and you were like, hey, you are my best friend forever. Here's my entire life story. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then you were like, now you can never get rid of me. You need to help me with all of this. It took time to get to that point. No. It happens. It happens. No, but it's like, that's the difference between love bombing and like...
Hey, you want to start a podcast and we have to talk together all the time?
I love bombed you into that.
Hang out with me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but like, they just, there's a difference between craving a connection with the person and the narcissistic tendencies that are required for love bombing. And so a way to figure it out, especially in friendships, is to pay attention to their relationship history. So do they have nice things to say about other people in their life? Or are they quick to cut other people down and blame them for their problems? If it's the latter, chances are that the common denominator in their problems is them, and it's evidence of a narcissistic streak.
This is why we talk about like someone who shit talks their exes. I mean, this is more friendship, but we're talking about, but
still
in
it
relationship,
applies.
Anyone who's just like, everyone's psychos and that's why I have no friends and they're all the word. I'm like, you might be the problem.
Exactly.
I hate to break it to you, but you are the common denominator in this shit in your life.
Well, exactly, right? Like, right? Yeah. Because I can spit facts, but sometimes people don't hear them.
Rap God, info God.
Oh my God. I love that. Don't call me rap God, call me info God.
I'm beginning to feel like a research God. Research God.
If I knew more lyrics, I would add more. But I just know the noises.
All the people come to the front and the back. God, back God. To rap like a computer must be my jeans. I got a laptop in my back pocket.
That's it.
A pinnacle walk when I half cock it.
Word. Stop.
Rap God came on the other day in my car, and immediately I thought of you. Never in my life, I've never listened to Rap God with you, like, but you just said that everyone was like knew you for knowing how to rap God, but you couldn't actually rap it.
I just would make the noise,
and now forever my life will think of you for that song.
I know. I was like jamming out when I was like getting ready to record this episode, and Rap God was on. And I was just like towel drying my hair, just like blah, 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 and I was like, wow. I was like doing my hair flips.
I know like sections of that rap. I can't like say the whole thing smoothly, but
I know. Yeah, I don't know. I can get the sounds out, and I'm trying to work on the lyrics. But like, I remember when I was learning Rap God, and I was sitting in my bed playing parking simulator on my phone. So I was like driving this car and I'd have to like parallel park them. Yeah, that's the nerdiest thing I've ever done. With Rap God on repeat in my headphones, and I was just like learning the words while I was like parallel parking these cars, because that's what I did in my free time.
I know he pulls like a I'm rubber, you are glue in there too.
Oh really?
I'm rubber, you are glue, everything that bounces off me sticks to you.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Someone who's suing on me, what I got to get it through to you that I'm a superhuman, innovative, everything I do. I'm rubber, you are glue, everything bounces off me and sticks to you. Something along those lines. That's what I.
Interesting.
That's as far as I got in that one.
Yeah.
But yes.
I don't know.
To rap like a computer must be in my jeans. I've got a laptop in my back pocket.
I panic walk when I half cock. Got a fat knot in that rat prop. Made a living and a killing off it. Anyway.
Copyright.
We can now sing 15 more seconds. Oh my goodness. Eminem, I would love for you to be on this podcast.
What the heck would we interview Eminem about?
I don't know, but I would love to just talk to him. It'd just be like,
hey Marshall, like,
what's up? With a real Slim Shady, please stand up.
Come to Sometimes Ciabatta Laughs.
That cool, because it would be interesting, because I would like to interview him on being a white rapper and kind of revolutionizing the rap game, and also being a single dad, but also growing up with the way he grew up. And then I'd like to see how his relationship with his mom affects who he is today and what he thinks about that.
I wonder what his attachment style is. Avoidant? Or disorganized?
Disorganized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, right? Like, we were both wrong about ours. Anyway.
At Slim Shady Management Team. Reach out to some pictures on the slabs.
Could you imagine?
I would fucking cry. That'd be so
gosh.
funny.
I would just shut up. Like, I would freeze. Like, I'd be like, cool. This isn't real.
So, quick intermission. So, why is love bombing dangerous?
Because it's a manipulation control tactic that occurs in the beginning of the relationship. So they praise you, adore you, emotionally attach way too quickly, and they will use it as a tactic. So like after a big fight or like even a breakup, they'll belittle you and then they'll beg for forgiveness. They'll promise it'll never happen again and then offer that overly grand gesture in the hopes of like winning you back. And it's a pattern of this like belittling, begging for forgiveness, promising it'll never happen again, and then grand gesture.
Yeah.
And so in cases of domestic violence, the abuser will inflict abuse, tell you how much they love you, take dramatic actions to get back in your good graces to keep you in the relationship. They won't change their abusive behavior because they need the control, and the cycle will repeat, and they'll know that as long as they give you something good after, you will never leave them.
Rewarding bad behavior.
Yes. What's the like negative feedback loop or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so with that, abusers will prey on the vulnerable, such as those who just got divorced, recently broke up, have low self-esteem, and often someone who just got out of an abusive relationship. It's a very common theme of people who move from abusive relationship to abusive relationship, even though they like know what to look for and all the red flags and stuff. But the abuser is often narcissistic or a sociopath, so they know how to manipulate you into thinking, I'm not abusive, I will treat you better. And that's how they suck you in.
And with, sociopath specifically, you can also mimic and mask a lot of emotion. Mm-hmm. Narcissists, it's harder for them to mask emotion.
Yeah.
But so they'll typically go more with these like grandiose, like elaborate, like I'll buy you a boat.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh my gosh, no one could ever treat me as great as you do. You have so much money.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of those scammers. I can't think of any of the names. But you know all those like scammer documentaries?
Like
was it Bad Mike or something? Do you know that one?
No, I was
Dirty John.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Bad Mike, Dirty John. Like Dirty John, like he's like this like
sorry, Bad Mike copy. It took me a second. My computer was just warming up and then she got there.
Dirty John, like he was just like this like big like elaborate personality, and he very much love bombed in order to keep control in the relationship.
Well, that's even like the Tinder swindler.
Yeah.
Right?
Same concept.
Like, yeah, he's like, I'll buy you this, this, and this, but you just need to give me this in return or whatever. Like,
yeah. Tinder swindler was more scammy because he's like, I mean, he got them hooked and then stole all their money.
Yeah.
Where love bombing just wants mostly to like keep you there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, very similar. Like if you want to see the actions, like the prequel to the poor relationship.
Yeah,
that would be it. Mm-hmm. And then so like in the difference here is like to be like infatuated with someone is like you're very passionate and you have a lot of admiration for someone. But the key difference between the two is like the motivation. Mm-hmm. Again, we're just gonna hammer that in.
It's the motivation, because when I was reading this, I was like, oh my gosh, do I love bomb? And then Alexa was like, well, are you doing it with the intention to manipulate and control people? And I was like, no, but like, what if I don't know that I'm doing that?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Someone I'm talking to right now, he said the same thing. The topic of love bombing came up.
Okay, I would really like more context for this, please.
The topic of love bombing came up because this is someone who knows nothing about psychology, and I'm like, and you're talking to me. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Let me just like hit you with a bunch of stuff. Because I talked about love bombing. He's like, oh, what is that? And it's like, I'm like, oh, it's this. I gave the explanation. Yeah. He's like, I might do that. A lot of my friends say like I like buy too many things for girls and like do too much and this right away, and I'm like, well, are you doing it with this intent? And he's like, well, no. I'm like, well, then you're not doing it. You just fall quick. Right?
Often, if you love bomb, you will not admit to love bombing. You will not have, like, you will not be able to say, I am love bombing out loud to people.
Yeah.
Like, and you might know what you're doing, but...
Someone else I spoke to a while ago, Journey can agree he was very much a love bomber.
Yeah, no, he definitely was, like, really love bombing. I definitely remember that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know, for him, I don't know if it was intentional.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a lot of like his own insecurity, but I remember like when you talk about everything being like very overwhelming right from the get-go, it was that.
And that makes a lot of sense.
It was just very intense, and I was like, whoa. But I was also, I don't know, I liked attention.
But yeah, exactly. Well, and that's difficult, right? Like, this might sound harsh, but like for someone with an insecure attachment to be given...
Which I didn't know at the time. When I tell you this has rocked my world, I'm trying not to make it a personality trait.
The light bulb just keeps getting brighter and brighter, my guy.
I'm like, yeah.
But yeah, to be given that like undying attention is like, it's what you want, but that's also scary, the power that they have.
Yeah.
Right? Because until it happens, everyone thinks, no, I could never be in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Until you're in one.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, how'd this happen?
And I can think of a couple people come to mind that have very much fallen into the trap, and like I can't help. And it makes me sad that...
Well, because until they see it, they don't want your help.
Exactly.
And that's the heartbreaking part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, stages of this starts with, like, idealization. Sweep you off your feet and schmooze you. And, again, this is what, like, a very overwhelming, like, first date might look like.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And then the devaluation, they alternate between kind and cruel. In public, they're kind and loving, and in private, they're abusive, or... vice versa.
Yeah.
One case of this that I can think of, he's really good to her in private and not so nice in public, or doesn't really care. Wow,
that seems totally backwards. Because usually abusers want their abuse to stay fairly private.
Yeah.
So it's weird that that's the face he would show the world.
And it's not like open abuse, but it's just like very like disinterest and stuff, and very...
Yeah. Well, it's not physical, but it's like it's still there.
It's just it's very odd to witness.
Definitely.
But in like the Dirty John scenario, like he would very much like in, I don't know, public they would be this like power couple and da-da-da-da-da, and then in private it was like all the fights and stuff.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely not what we like.
You should watch Dirty John. I think you would find it very intriguing.
Is it on Netflix?
Yep.
Okay, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then, like, the last kind of, like, stage, these are kind of, like, love bombing, narcissism stages kind of meshed, which is discarding. So basically, once you no longer are doing for them what you were doing for them, you're done. Like, without a thought, kind of.
You're out. Exit stage left.
Literally. It's just like, oh, you want boundaries? Okay, bye, bitch. Yeah. So what should you do after you've been love bombed, Michaela?
I guess, know that you're not alone, right? And like if you pushed away friends and stuff, know that more often than not you will be able to go back to them, or if people genuinely care about you, that you will have support. Because
a lot of time the people that you pushed away know what's happening before you know what's happening. So when you come to them, chances are they will be more than willing to help you. Yeah.
And then work on knowing your self-worth. Maybe take an attachment styles quiz. Yeah. Rock your world. And just like, and do your best to like build tools within yourself so that this scenario doesn't happen again. Know what to watch for, and just become more conscientious of everything I went through. I'm sure there has to be like some support, like abuse support groups and stuff. I'm sure there's
definitely
resources out there, therapy, of course, but
like endless Facebook groups probably as well that you can, and like even Reddit posts, like the one that I found for like friendships, they're like, how can you tell when a friend is being like is love bombing? And there were so many comments and like answers and like so much explanation and support and everything that, yeah, so definitely, I don't know, Reddit's a tool.
And then, yeah, just try to surround yourself with things that, I guess, not keep you preoccupied per se, but like give you passion and motivation and whatnot, so you're not as likely to fall back into this cycle.
Exactly.
Right? If you have drive and motivation and self-worth and self-value, then more often than not, you'll be able to, I don't know, scare off a love bomber, so to speak.
Once you like, you're, as long as they view you as no longer vulnerable, they are less likely to prey on you, but that is such a difficult spot to get to, especially if you have just left an abusive relationship. Yeah. So, yeah, just kind of...
work on building your support, and I truly think that finding a passion of sorts, something that you are really interested in and that gives you life and a community, will help you. And it could be your job.
Exactly.
Right? You could throw yourself into work, and if you love the work and it's a good, healthy scenario, then it could be it for you, right? Because that's a positive, I guess, coping mechanism. I don't really want positive distraction, positive. Yeah. I don't know what the right word to say is there. But yeah, just to be with yourself and build up your community.
And even just like... know that your value isn't contingent on someone else. So you don't need to have this person in order to feel valued, even though that's, like, in this scenario I have in my head, they've just left an abusive relationship, even though that's what they told you the entire relationship. Your self-worth doesn't change with who you're dating. Like,
your self-worth is dependent on yourself.
Exactly.
And that's where, in some cases, professional help may be beneficial. In other cases... changing your community might be beneficial. Get yourself out of the scenario where you fall back into these patterns and habit, like quite literally habit build. If you want to break it down to the very foundation, what you're doing is habit building and unlearning bad habits and relearning new ones. It's going to be hard.
It's going to, a lot of unlearning.
But if you surround yourself with your solid community, then you'll be able to get out of it. But
wild. And also, a narcissist can be anyone in your life. It can be your parents, it can be your friends, it can be your partner. This love bombing applies to every single relationship that you can ever have. So just like, it's not exclusive to romantic partners.
So just be aware of that, and if someone gives you the ick, listen to that.
Trust your gut. Your gut knows a lot more than you think it does.
Yeah, your intuition is, and she's spicy.
She's so spicy. But we love her.
But so to wrap this up, we are going to do a segment that's a little bit more lighthearted. We're going to try to make it lighthearted.
Yes.
I need to get a word first. We're going to do the word association game. Random word generator.
Word association game. I'm ready to associate my words. That's not a good start.
So we've done random word generator, and the word we got is beach. Beach. And I guess so we should say, don't think too deeply, Journey. Shut your brain off for a second.
Okay. Powering down.
This word association game. It starts with this word. We both have to say a word, and then we have to say a word until that relates to the previous word. Can I say this any more complex? Until we get the same word.
Yeah.
We did it in
one of our first episodes.
Yeah. I couldn't even pretend to tell you what episode that was.
I feel like it was right before Alexa's first one.
But we ended on like podcast Sometimes You Want Slaps. Yeah. And it was really funny.
It was really good. I think we started with like black or something.
Yeah.
Okay, beach.
So beach, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, umbrella. Sand.
Dang it. Okay.
So now I have to find a word between sand and umbrella. 3, 2, 1, summer.
Towel. Okay.
3, 2, 1, swimming. Oh, close.
Oh my goodness, how am I gonna find the same?
Pool and swimming. Okay.
3, 2, 1, water. Oh.
3, 2, 1, tropics. Oh, shoot.
Oh, no.
3, 2...
Wait. I gotta think.
3, 2, 1, resort.
Pool again. No, that doesn't work. I don't know, green. Green's my word. So we've got what? Green and
resort.
Resort. 3, 2, 1, sandals.
Mexico.
Oh. We are not on the same wavelength.
Wait, do we keep going or do we
Let's
just
get a different word because we're on sandals in Mexico.
Which would lead us back to beach in my brain.
Yeah, we already said beach.
Okay.
I'm not very good at this game. That's okay.
Oh. Our next word is behavior.
3, 2, 1,
person.
bad.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, serial killer.
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
Ted Bundy.
forensics.
Oh. Can we name people in this game? Their words?
I guess so.
Okay, you're not gonna get my next word.
What's your next word?
Bite mark analysis?
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna get that.
Okay, yeah. I don't know, forensics and Ted Bundy. That's how he was caught.
Flight is our... We're gonna try flight.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, airplane.
Oh, fuck. Wait. We can get it. Airplane and birds. What do they have in common? 3, 2, 1, wings. Yes.
Take us out. I don't think that counts.
Why not?
Because you said, what do they have?
Oh, LOL. I don't know, but that's what they have in common. You're trying to find something in common.
I was going to say, like, air.
Air. They've got an empty skeleton. They're both hollow on the inside.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And on that note, this game is chaos.
We are not good at it, but it's fun every time.
So thank you for tuning in to Love Bombing.
See.
Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it wasn't too heavy. I mean, I think our little Eminem intermission helped.
And also, please don't get offended if we giggle our way through really serious topics. The serious things make me uncomfortable, so I go to comedy to kind of make them less heavy.
Yeah. You know, we're trying to make everything digestible, so.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to bring you down and need to decompress after every episode, but.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
You know. Anyways, I'm Mak Joy.
I'm Mak Jubes.
We are sometimes Ciabatta Slaps on all social media platforms.
Yes, and we have a website.
Yeah.
But
sometimes ciabattaslaps.com, and that's where you can find all of our episode links and whatnot there. If you're having issues finding it elsewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, subscribe, comment, rate, review, all of the things.
Let us know what you like. Yeah. Keep what you don't like to yourself. Just kidding. Kinda.
Just at me specifically. Yeah. At Michaela only.
Throwback to our first episode.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been nice chatting with you guys.
Hope you have a wonderful week.
Yeah, hope the first week of February treats you well and you've got a hot date with someone or yourself for Valentine's Day lined up. Oh my goodness, a hot date with us.
Yeah. I'll be myself. You can hang out with me.
I told Bryce last night, I was like, are you going to ask me to be your Valentine's? I was like, you have to ask me to be your Valentine's. He's like, Journey, no. We're dating. It's just assumed you're going to be my Valentine's. And I was like, yeah, but I still want to hear it. Oh, well. You guys can be my Valentine's.
ttfn.
Bye.
Bye.